All right, all right, all right. All right. All right. It's the red hot mic. Come on in this house. Come on in this house. Yeah. It's the red hot mic. I am so glad to have you with me. One more time. You could be doing a lot of other things, but you're here with me, and I appreciate it so much. And so, because of that, what I want to do is I want to give you a rousing, if I can find it, I want to give you a rousing applause. Thank you so much. But you need to come on in this house. Come on in this house. Come on. You know why? You know why? Because the bell is sounding. Come on. The bell is sounding. One more time. Come on. Come on. The bell is sounding because we got lions and tigers and bears out there. So come on in this house. Come on. It's the Red Hot Mic with yours truly, G Alpha Palmer. It's time for us to ruminate, elevate, and to activate one more time. Please like, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can know when we have new content dropping. It's the Red Hot Mic, and it's hot up in here. Come on. It's summertime. Come on. It's the Red Hot Mic. Woo! And ladies and gentlemen, here's a toast to your wholeness and to the best of you, to each and every one of you, coming to the fruition of what you are always meant to be. All right. It's the Red Hot Mic. You know how we do. We start off every evening, every time we come together, we start off with to do homage or to recognize someone that we think that has contributed tremendously to our culture. Even though he is no longer with us, I am still just overwhelmed with the results of him being with us. There are more and more people standing up and beginning to speak about the importance of relationship, speaking of the proper function and operation of both men and women. Yeah, it's Mr. Kevin Samuels. That's his theme music. I'm not biting it. It's just a matter of just giving him credit and recognizing this part of our show as a recognition of what he's contributed to us. See, a lot of times, I wish I had met him when he was here. I would have given him his flowers then. But I tried, but I never was able to get through to him. But I know a lot of people did, and I probably could have made a bigger effort to do that. But I want to still do, even though he's no longer with us, I still want to give him credit for what he has done. But it should always be we give flowers to people while they're still here, as opposed to when they leave. But I'm going to give him credit right now. So what we do here at the Red Hot Mic, we start off with our candle of the evening, and tonight's candle is from White Barn. It's not a real expensive candle, but I'm not even sure. I'm not sure where I got it from. But sometimes I get candles sent to me, and then people give me candles. And this one is leather and brandy, with a warm leather and an amber of woods and aged brandy. That's, I don't know about you, but I like that. And I really do like that candle. And we've had it on the show before, and I do like it a lot. Let's get rid of some of this stuff here. I do like it a lot. So that's our candle of the evening. Our candle of the evening from White Barn. And it's leather and brandy. Okay. The next thing we try to do in giving homage to Mr. Kevin Samuels is we do and recognize our sin of the evening. And this is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Pour Home. And it is, here it says that Light Blue Pour Home is a classic cologne that draws its masculine powers from a clever combination of sweet brown mandarin, tart grapefruit, smooth rosewood, Chilean pepper, incense, and Vester. So this is a really, really organic kind of scent. So I have had this on the show before too, and I do like it a lot. Oh man, that's a good smell. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Pour Home. You wanna check that out? You wanna check that out at your local place where they do fragrances? and I'm sure you will not be disappointed. So that's how we pay homage to Mr. Kevin Samuels, because we do appreciate what he's offered us. And the next thing that we like to do is we try to move beyond ourselves. We move beyond just what we think we should do, and we give room for spirit. I'll be right back. Okay, that's more of the ambiance I'm looking for. All right, get my chair right here. Okay, but you know what we do. This is another opportunity. Let me add something right here. It's our opportunity to recognize what we do, and we call the answer wheel. Now, the answer wheel is basically our opportunity to step aside and allow spirit the opportunity to get involved in our program. And so what we want to do is give spirit that platform. Now, what is the answer wheel for some of you that may not have been to the program? What we do is we look at the fact that some of us have questions that we have problems answering. We have not been able to answer. And because we have not been able to answer, we left perplexed, confused, ambivalent. We just a myriad of different feelings of what to do, where to go, etc., etc. Whatever it is that we're tossing and turning with or toiling with. And so what we do here at the Red Hot Mic is we give you an opportunity to not hear from me, but hear from Spirit. And what we do is we look at our answer wheel, and I give the answer wheel a turn like I'm going to do right now. And what we do is we allow the answer wheel to stop, because it's going to give us one of 6 answers. And those answers are try again, no way, definitely, maybe, yes, and ask a friend. And what it'll do is it's going to stop on one of these. And that's going to be your answer. If you can believe that, if you would receive that. I mean, we believe all other things. Why can't we not believe that Spirit can use something like this? I just know that it's possible. But it's only what you believe. If you don't believe that, if you believe this is foolishness, then you're right. If you believe that you can get an answer, then you're just as much as right. So it's just totally up to you to be able to just, and this is what happens sometimes. See how it stopped in the middle? It stopped in the middle. So I'm gonna give it a push one more time. And hopefully, and if it doesn't stop and it stops in the middle this time, we're just gonna leave it and say, stay where you are. Okay? So here we go. We're gonna see if we can get something this time. All right. And it says, no way. No way. The answer for tonight's answer wheel is no way. Now, what does no way mean? No way means that wherever you're going, wherever you are right now, wherever you are, there's no way of that particular, whatever you've been toiling with. It's no way. That's not the way to go. Whatever it is that you've been toiling with and even maybe questioning and considering to do, the universe is saying no way. Now you can go that way, but you have to understand that there's going to be repercussions and ramifications for doing that. And it may not be what you're looking for. And the reason for that is you're getting a warning that's saying no way. But you can still do it. There's nothing that could stop. There's nothing, the universe won't even stand in the way and stop you from doing it. The universe will allow you to do it, but there will be consequences. Okay, so no way that that's going to work out. No way that the favor of the universe is with that decision or that possible decision or that consideration that you've been going with, that thinking about or toiling with. So it's important that you understand that, because it's a very important thing for you to understand that the universe wants the best for you. But the only way that the best can come for you and toward you and I is that we listen to the universe. We listen to God. We listen to the Creator. However you want to bridge that. But the bottom line is, know this: the universe has the best intentions for you. And so what we have to learn to do is to embrace the universe, look for the universe's indicators, signs, and this could be one. It's totally up to you. You may not think it is, but maybe there's other signs and other ways that you can gain an indicator or a sign from the universe. Then you should do that. We call it confirmation. We call it a confirmation. So here's an opportunity for you to just understand that no way that that's going to work. So just stay the course. Stay the course. And let's see what happens as we continue down this road. Okay? But I appreciate you being with me. I really, really do appreciate it, because you could be doing something else. And tuning into this broadcast, I'm hoping that you find some value with it. And again, if you would subscribe, that's all I'm asking. Subscribe to the channel. We need people to subscribe. It's amazing how you ask for support, and people struggle with giving it to you. And for whatever reason, I don't know why. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I'm trying to help. And whether you believe it or not, okay. If it's not something that you hold as being of any value, I get it. I understand. You don't have to support it. But if you do find any value, and if you think that this can help someone, I'm asking you that you would subscribe and ask other people to subscribe. It would be very helpful. Very, very helpful. So, yeah, it's a Red Hot Mike. And I'm glad that you're with me. And it's time for us to move on down the road and talk about what we had talked about once before. We talked about finding a high-value mate in part 1. This is part 2. How to find... Let me get rid of this. How to find a high-value mate. Now, one of the things that we're finding that's happening in our community, culture, and clan is just there's so much confusion around relationships. So much confusion around relationships, and more people are choosing not to marry. I'm of the mindset that marriage is a very important institution. Well, I don't even like the word institution. I really don't. It's the most important relationship next to our relationship to the universe. It's the most important relationship next to that. So, to be honest with you, marriage is the most important human relationship that you'll have. Now, it's important to understand that marriage is not what we have made it. If you look at my last broadcast, I talked about the fact that marriage is not what we have made it. It's not a partnership, right? Some people are looking for partners. That's a business agreement. Marriage is not a business agreement, right? Marriage is not a religious function, but we've made it that too. We've made it a religious function, or we're now trying to make it a business function. Well, we're starting to go away from the religious portion, the religious function, And now we're going toward more civil. You know, you go down to City Hall. You don't need no preacher. You don't need to. You just need a justice of the peace. Somebody that's going to that's going to adjust us for peace. How they going to do that? I don't know. But anyway, the bottom line is we're going away from the religious, right? And we're going toward more civil. Well, not even that now. What statistics are showing us that more and more people are choosing not to marry at all. And the problem with that is, you know, when is understanding what marriage really is. Marriage is a union. Marriage is a union, right? It's a coming together. It's two becoming one. It's an amalgamation. It's a coming together, right? It's a culmination of two becoming one. And it's no breaking up and getting away. And you say, well, I don't need marriage to do that. Well, you may not, but you know, for the way that some of us operate, it's probably more important for us to go ahead and get married. Marriage is something that if we use the idea of the threefold cord, there is the husband, the wife, and the universe or the creator. And that threefold cord adds strength to relationship, the most important relationship that you'll have here on earth. Yes, it's more important than mom and dad. That's why, because when you grow up, you're supposed to leave your mom and dad, and you're supposed to find yourself a mate. Now, when I say find a mate, you've got to understand how that process works. And she got some other videos that talk about that process. It's not what we've been taught. It's not the process of a guy going out and hunting for a wife. That's not how it really is supposed to be. But that's another subject for another time. But what I want to talk about is the purpose of marriage. Let's talk about that. I want to use some of my other let's see if we can share the screen here. I'm going to try. How about that? The last time I looked so small, so I thought I would try to make it a little bit more comparable. So what we see here is marriage. There is a purpose to marriage. And the purpose of marriage is not what we've made it to be. Now, some of us will say, well, you know, my marriage is going to be whatever I deem it to be or what we agree it to be. Okay, that's fine. And you can do that because the universe will never get in the way of that. But I'm going to share some things with you as to what the universe sees as with the purpose of marriage. And I think I've already addressed it, and that's the two becoming one. Why is that important? Why is two becoming one important? Why? Because what the universe has done is made it so that man and woman, husband and wife, are equal but not the same. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, equal means that they have the same amount of authority. They have the same amount of power, but the power is equal, but it's not the same. Okay, and we're going to get into that a little bit further, but as we go along. But it's important to understand that that marriage is the coming together of two becoming one. We're supposed to leave home, and we join to someone, and if that's a husband or wife, we join to that person, and the two of us are to become one. And that's work. Yeah, there's going to be disagreements. There's going to be plenty and ample opportunity to quit. But our grandparents didn't quit. They stayed together. Regardless of what it was. They went through it. Now, I'm not saying to put your life in danger. That's not intelligent. But I mean, some of us leave because it's that partnership mentality. See, in a partnership, we're looking for someone to uphold what we expect them to uphold within the partnership. and we uphold our end. But if they don't uphold their end, then what we do is we void the contract or we divorce. And that's what we do, regardless of what it is. It could be anything. But our grandparents didn't do that. Our great grandparents didn't do that. They stayed together and they stayed the course through anything, infidelity, finances, whatever it is. Okay? They had to make up their mind as to whether they were going to stay together. But see, what we're doing is we, at the first sign of trouble, we're abandoning ship. And as a result of that, our children don't know what marriage looks like. Our children have no idea what marriage looks like or what marriage is supposed to look like. Our marriages are the failure of marriage in our culture and in our society has left us our children void of understanding of gender roles, what they are to be as a man and a woman. Who are they supposed to be? They don't receive guidance. They don't receive discipline. They don't receive discipleship, right? They don't receive anything that will help them to receive guidance on how to live this life. So they go out and they let our society or culture dictate to them through famous people who have no idea themselves. Because they have a lot of money means that they have common sense? No, it doesn't. Just because they have a position means that they know better? No, it doesn't. See, truth has a sound. And if you would tune in to that sound and hear, not listen, but hear, you'll hear something that would say that it's true. Right? And not because someone has a lot of money. But anyway, the purpose of marriage. The purpose of marriage is very, very important. We can't get around it. Let's go on here. The purpose of marriage. Now, we talked about this in some of my other videos. You can go back and get more understanding about the 8 elements or the eight elements of what constitutes marriage. And what we have to understand is that when we start talking about marriage, before you can get married, there needs to be a development process. For many of us, that's not happening. And that developmental process consists of the 8 elements of masculinity and femininity development. And because we're not gaining those or understanding what they are, okay, what's missing in our lives is the necessary development that prepares us for marriage. Now, when I talk about the 8 elements of marriage, of masculine and feminine development, they're not the same. There's a masculine and we'll talk about it in a minute. But there's a chronological development. This is and we're gonna, I'm not gonna go into it in depth, but this is the process of aging. Okay. And this is what a lot of people determine what maturity is. And it's not the only measure of maturity. We know that, right? Because you can be 40 years old and really not be developed, right? It's a known fact. There are plenty of people that are what we perceive as being of age that are really not of age, right? The second thing is physiological development. Okay, physiological talks about the physical body. Our body needs to mature. Our body needs to mature, to be a place where it's strong, it's virile and vital, and is able to endure, support, and to maintain. Okay, so it's important to have that physiological development. Okay, it's important for us to develop in our bodies physically, bone structure, proper organ function and operation. Okay, these are very critical when we start talking about development. The next one is cognitive development. Some of us do not have the cognitions necessary. We have not learned how to come to cognition, how to read or understand cognition. And as a result of that, we go on other things. We let the other things dictate to us. Okay? We let other things dictate to us. The next step, number 4, is mental development. See, some of us are mentally not been developed, have not been taught, and because of that, we suffer from different types of ailments. Just like your body can get sick, so can your mind mentally. There is mental sickness. But there's mental development too. And mental development will show us that if we would act and allow ourselves to go through the development process mentally, maybe some of the situations we would handle differently. And I know some of the things that we go through, there's aspects of us that say, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not putting up with this. I don't have to take this, whatever that is. But then there's a part of us mentally says, this is bigger than you. What about the children? Don't you know the importance of that other mate to that child? See, what we fail to realize is that we put our happiness over our duty and our responsibilities. You have responsibilities to these children. As a mother and a father, we do. And if we fail to fulfill those responsibilities, it is our fault that our children fail to thrive. It's our fault that our children choose to go down the direction that they go down. Because I'm a firm believer that if you teach a child what they're supposed to do, as they get older, they will maintain it. They won't go away from it. It'll be a part of them. Okay, it'll be a part of them. Number 5 is emotional development. Now, it's important to understand that what we're experiencing now in our community, culture, and clan, and around the world is a emotional cascade of people depending on emotions rather than anything else. They don't even depend on logic, facts, intellect, anything, just emotion. Now, emotions are important. Don't get me wrong. Male and female, emotional development is important. But the important thing is to understand you don't live by emotions, because emotions change. Moment to moment, minute to minute, they change. Because our emotions are really tied to our environment. Our emotions are really tied to our safety and our security. That's the main part that our emotions are supposed to be used for, to ensure our safety and security, our protection. Okay, and not making decisions solely by emotions. So that's number 5. Number 6 is philosophical development. See, philosophically, we've got to learn how to communicate with the world and the world communicate with us, to find the essence and the driving forces and the ebbs and flows of what's going on around us. And as we do that philosophically, we begin to build paradigms. And paradigms help us to identify different ebbs and flows within our environment. Number 7, psychological development. Now, in psychological development, I know a lot of this may sound similar, but they're not the same. Okay? They're not the same. Psychological development is not the same as cognitive development or mental development. Okay. Psychological development is the building blocks by which we build different ways of thinking. Different ways of thinking. Schemas. We build different modes or ideas and ideologies. Okay. So our psychological development is important. And number 8 is our intellectual development. All of our intellectual development is talking about our ability to learn and be teachable. And so many of us in this culture now is not teachable. We're not teachable. No one can tell us anything. But the truth of the matter is, we've got to learn intellectually, that we have to develop. And how do we do that? We learn that we do that by being teachable, by being thoughtful, by being considerate, by being intuitive. There's so many aspects to the intelligent piece. You need my book to talk. You need one of my books. Go to the website. It's in the, it's scrolling underneath the page. Go to our website and it'll give you some ideas. So, yeah, that's it. So let's look at the next. What's next? Now, one of the things I think is important to understand is that everything has purpose. Everyone has purpose. Now, it's important that we understand what purpose is. I believe we went over it in our last session on finding a high value mate. Now, it says here that everyone has and everything has a general purpose. Now, general purpose, overall purpose for humanity is for us to have dominion over the planet. In other words, we are supposed to accomplish that thing that we were sent here to do. And that is to have dominion. As human beings, we are supposed to have dominion. Dominion means that we are supposed to rule. It means that we are to operate, function, cohabitate. Okay, and we are supposed to work together. And so this whole idea, our overall purpose for humanity is to exercise dominion over the whole planet. Now that means that, in order for us to do that, the next thing that has to come into play is what we will look at as being, in order for us to understand this, is that we got to understand that there is a masculine aspect to general purpose, and there's a feminine aspect to purpose or general purpose. And with the masculine general purpose, masculine purpose penetrates, pierces, injects, inserts, initiates, and stabs. That's what, it's not a gender. It's really not a gender, not really yet. Masculine, when it comes into this sphere called Earth, it doesn't have a gender assignment. It has an operational and a functional assignment, which I just mentioned. Okay? So it's important for us to understand that masculine, even though I have man there, I'm trying to help you distinguish, that masculine is very much a part of man, but it's not man yet because it has not entered into the sphere. It is the whole idea of what happened in the beginning before it entered into the sphere. Masculine, with an E, it dictates what I just shared with you. But when it comes into this sphere called Earth, it drops the E and it adds the ITY. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But let's look at some more. When we talk about the masculine general purpose, let's look at the what we call the women's or the feminine general purpose, which is to receive, incubate, nurture, secure, protect, and to seed. It's important to understand what I'm saying. I know this may sound strange to some of you, but this is the reason why everything is going awry. Because what we're doing is we're failing to realize that masculine and feminine have both been assigned specific functions and operations before gender has been assigned. This happens before you ever become whoever you are. And what happens is when we are assigned, what happens is if the universe has decided for us through purpose to be masculine, then it's going to come down into masculinity. If the universe has dictated that we're to be feminine, then feminine will eventually come down and be assigned femininity. It'll drop the E and add the ITY, and the ITY always means degree, order, or science of. So so it means that once coming into this sphere, the science takes over. The scientific structure, the chemical order, the chromosomes, the cell structure, the science comes into play. But the science comes into play to fulfill the masculine mandate, or the masculine or the feminine mandate, whichever of masculine or feminine, right? To fulfill the masculine or feminine mandate. So that when it comes as masculine, it comes into this realm and it becomes masculinity. When it's feminine and it comes into this realm, it becomes femininity. And it's important to understand that once it comes into the sphere and you put on the science, it also delineates and mandates our physical appearance, our physical design, our build. Our build speaks to our masculinity, which speaks to our masculine. And ladies, your femininity speaks to your design speaks to your femininity, which speaks to your feminine as well. And so it's important that we understand these. These are critical to understand. And this is why our children are lost, because no one teaches them in their home the difference between masculine and feminine. Ladies and gentlemen, is a binary scientific scientific. It's not even science. It's beyond science. It's energy. There are only two energies, binary energies. There's masculine and feminine. That's it. Now I know some people are not going to like that, but that's the truth. I love you enough to tell you the truth. The truth is there's only two: hot, cold, on, off, high, low, yin, yang, masculine, feminine. Everything else is something else at work, and we're going to talk about that. But it's important to understand what we're talking about here, that there is a general purpose. There's a general purpose. And I just spoke to you about this particular next it's the law of or lawful energy or entry. I was just talking about it, but I have it here on the slide where it talks about feminine becomes femininity, right? And masculine becomes masculinity. And the law of entry is the dropping of the E and the adding of the ITY, which means the degree. The degree is always talking about an order, a science, a degree. Okay. There's always structure. Okay. There's structure to us. And the structure always begins with, as for guys, it's masculine. For ladies, it's feminine. And it comes down into masculinity for guys, and for the ladies, it comes from feminine to femininity. Okay. So it's important to understand that purpose possesses a masculine and a feminine. This is why we're equal but not the same. This is why man needs woman and woman needs man, because of this very fact. that purpose, see, purpose, this is why this is how marriage is going to work. See, they tell us that a man, the man that finds himself a wife finds a good things and you have fine favor. But that's not what it really means. What we need to understand is that a man will connect, or as he's fulfilling his purpose, he will, as he understands the masculine of his purpose, that there is a feminine to his purpose, and there's only one woman that can fulfill that. And when he sees her, he will know her. She will know him. There will be no reason to wait to get married, because the purpose that brought you both here is now fulfilled. It is now two becoming one to fulfill the purpose that you were sent to do. You can't do it alone. Some people think they can. And just because they appear to be successful does not mean that is arbitrarily the end all be all. They probably could have done better. Many of us have not found the right mate. And the way that you find your right mate is if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing via your purpose, everything else will sound fake, phony, and out of sort until you hear that voice of someone that really knows, and that is that one that fits for you. The yin to your yang, the hot to your cold, your match, right? And so when we do that, we become, and this is what's going to change our community, culture, and clan. Individuals who find their purpose. Our purpose is to change, to transform, and to have dominion, right? And then we talked about it first, to have dominion. And dominion means to rule. We're supposed to be ruling our environment, not in the sense that you do this and no. That's the wrong idea about rulership. That's the wrong idea about rulership. We need to understand that rulership is that which serves. That's what rulership is. Rulership serves, gives. It's better to give than to receive. But we want to get all we can all we get, and sit on the can. That's the old church thing I used to hear. But it's more to life than that. You know it. You know it's more to life than that. Right? Okay, let's move on. I like this emblem. I saw it and I really liked it because you have the symbol for the male and the female, and then there's a circle in the middle that joins us together. I believe that circle is represented by marriage, or the wedding ring, or the wedding band. You know, we think that it means matrimony. It means more than that. It means purpose. It means unity of purpose. It means the unity and the coming together of purpose. The amalgamation of purpose. Right? Because there is a feminine and a masculine, and is manifested in the natural and joined together. Just like yin and yang, like we talked about. Right? So what's going to draw you to your mate is your purpose. You should be about doing your purpose. Ladies, you should be about doing your purpose. The feminine piece of your purpose. What can you do? I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. I think one of the main things that needs to happen is that we need to learn the 8 elements of femininity. We need to learn the 8 elements of masculinity, so that we can best be able to be ready. You know, so many people are not ready to be a husband or a wife. And I said before, you know, a woman is a wife, and a wife is a woman, but a female is neither. Just like a man is a husband, and a husband is a man, but a male is neither. And in order for us to matriculate and to grow from boyhood to malehood to manhood, or from girlhood to femalehood to womanhood, is to understand the 8 elements that fit in. There's actually 8 in each stage that causes us to move and to matriculate to the next stage so that we can be mature and ready, because only a woman should be a wife, and only a wife can be a woman. Everything else, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can call her your bride, your baby mama, you can call her whatever you want, but she's not your wife. She's not your wife. You're not her husband. You're not her husband. No, you're not. You're her baby daddy. Okay? You're her boo, or whatever, you sugar dad, whatever you want to call it, but it's not her husband. And see, what we're suffering now is folks not marrying. And if they are marrying, they're marrying and they're having these open relationships. If you're having an open relationship, why get married? It doesn't even make sense. Why? Just stay single. If you feel like that you want to do certain things, then stay single. Okay? Anyway, I don't know if we're going to be able to go through all this. We're coming down. Well, we'll see. Now, let's talk about individual purpose. I think we did talk about it already, but I just want to, just because of the slide there. Individual purpose, everyone plays a role in general purpose by exercising individual purpose. Each person is born with an individual purpose. You are born with a specific thing that you're supposed to do that no one else can do but you. No one. If you're a boy, it's masculine. If you're a girl, it's feminine. And to bring that, come to that person, you'll know. If you come to that person that you're supposed to fit with together with, you'll know. You'll know. It won't be competition. There won't be fear, lack, or want, but because we know what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to assist one another. And if you don't have that, it's because you're not with the right person. You're not. But if you're with the right person, and see, what we've got to do is take our time and stop going by what we see, what we feel, material gain. We have to go beyond that and understand we are here to serve, and we're sent here to serve our purpose to the world. And now the question is, what's your purpose? Most people don't know. Your individual purpose, most people do not know. And that's what we do at the Purpose Quest International. Let's get my mind there for a second. Purpose Quest International. Now, if we're going to talk about individual purpose, there's some things that you need to understand about it. To understand that individual purpose, we must first find our purpose. That means that we've got to locate our purpose. How do you locate it, though? Well, I have a book that's called 26 Components of Purposeology, which tells you 26 elements that can help you find purpose. Well, you need to do all 26? No, you won't. But there's at least 26 that we can help you with. Not only do you need to find your purpose, you must concentrate on it. You must focus on it. Focus on your purpose. Okay? We got to find, focus, form, and bring into fruition. So we got to find, which means locate. Focus means we got to concentrate. We got to think about what it is that we're supposed to do. What is it that, look at your life. And your life will help you to see what you're supposed to do. Your life has written out a story. What is your story? Now understand this. Purpose is never illegal. Purpose never hurts anyone. Purpose doesn't break the law. It supersedes the law. So anything that's against the law, that hurts, harms others, is not purpose. That's not purpose. That's not purpose. Okay? And the next thing is, first we find, then we focus. The next thing is we form. Purpose has to be formed. It has to be, it means that it has to come into shape. It has to come into form. It has to come into configuration. And it has to be structured out. And that takes time to look at your life and see what fits you. How are you configured? How are you shaped or formed? What's your structure? How do you operate best? Some are formed to operate in the daytime. Some formed to operate at night. Some are formed to need a lot of sleep. Some of us are formed to not need it. So it's how you're formed. Some think better this time of day as opposed to that time of day, or what have you. Okay. And then it's your responsibility to bring it into fruition. Now, the important thing now, what does this have to do with marriage? It has a lot to do with marriage, because as both of you do what I'm saying here, you will make a change in your community and culture and clan. You will affect such a change, but you need the other person. You can't do it by yourself. Lasting change only comes through the unity of two or three. And the three is not another person. The third is connected between you two. It could be the universe or it's your purpose that connects the two of you. See, because the lips, hips, and fingertips are going to go away. The muscles, that six-pack, going to go away. Six figures, it may or may not go away. But that's not why you're here. And if that's what you're looking for, you have not found purpose. If you're looking for those kinds of things, you have not found purpose. If that's your aim, that's your goal in marriage, is to money, material things, you have not found purpose. And that's why our community, culture, and clan is in the condition that it's in, because we have not found someone that we can yoke together and help bring change into our community, culture, and clan. Look at every individual that has made a lasting change. They were married. They were married. They were married. So I have to believe that marriage is very important. Very, very important to each and every one of us. But you don't marry anybody. You don't marry anyone. You marry the right one. Because if you marry the right one, it'll be for a lifetime. It really will. It won't be a problem. Right? So we got to bring it into fruition. Bringing it into fruition means that we've got to manifest it. It's got to be made to work here in the seen realm. Okay? All right, let's move on. Next slide. And I've talked about this before, and I'm going to share with you what purposeology is. Now, purposeology is something that was given to me. It was given to me, I believe, through the Creator, and an individual by the name of Dr. Miles Monroe. And what purposeology is the spiritual scientific methodology designed to help seekers rediscover their individual purpose. So it's to rediscover. Now, what happened? When we rediscover something, that means that we have lost it. And we had to have lost it because we have to rediscover it. We had discovered it before, but we've somehow lost it. And now we have to rediscover it. And the thing is, so many things have piled over top of each and every one of us. school, religion, our parents, our culture, our society. So many things have silenced what our purpose is. So we have to find it. So in order to do that, we have to rediscover it. And in rediscovering purpose, it will help you find that person that you're supposed to be with. Before you marry, you should know purpose. Because anything else is a distraction from your purpose. Anybody else is a distraction from your purpose. And all of us have one thing in common. Time is running out. So the earlier you find purpose, the better. Now, here's the thing. Purpose is different for each and every one of us. No two people have the same purpose. No one. Not even a husband and wife. They don't have the same, they may appear to have the same purpose, but he has masculine and she has feminine. They're different. They're not the same. They're not the same. They're different. But coming together, they become one. But it's the needing of one needing the other that's so critical. We're equal, but not the same. And it's important for us to fulfill our marriage, to fulfill our purpose, is to understand the importance of needing one another. Okay? All right. So that's Purpose Hours. You can go on our website, just scrolling underneath the tickering underneath the page here. And you can go to our website and you can see more information. Okay, so the next slide talks about, gentlemen, I'm speaking to you about this. A man has a vision, but a male has dreams. Did you hear what I said? A man has a vision, but males have a dream or has dreams. Now, here's the difference. There's two differences here. One is a man and one's a male. One is vision and one is dreams. Now, what's the difference? Well, a man is fully developed. Because of he's fully developed, his vision is in concert with his development as a man. He is in concert as a man. So his vision has everything necessary to be fulfilled. And it's so concrete that it's almost palpable. He sees something. He sees something, whether it's day or night, he's woke or asleep. He can still see that thing. That's a vision. And the vision that you have is always a finished product. You see it at its culmination, at its finish point, at its completion. But you can't do that alone. You need her. Ladies, the same thing. You have vision. But your vision is not like his vision. Actually, let me take that back. I just received a check. You don't have vision. Vision is not for you. If you have vision, there's no need for him to have vision. He is the one that has vision. He is the one that initiates, inserts, injects. He's the one that does that. And I'm not talking about from a sexual standpoint, even though the physical stands as a type and shadow of what is the spiritual and mental perspective of what we're supposed to be doing. And what the Creator has done is given us the most simplest aspects of practices of us being able to understand in our own body, to understand what purpose is. So it's important for us to understand that in order for us to fulfill purpose, you need her just as much as she needs you. You've got to know the masculine side of purpose, she's got to know the feminine side of purpose. To receive, to incubate, to nurture, to secure and to protect. She's got to understand those things. And if she doesn't, there's going to be a problem. You can't come together. If you put those two together, you will have completeness. Completeness. But a man is responsible for vision. A woman is not responsible for vision. She's not to be a visionary. Because to be a visionary, you have to insert, that is masculine. Vision is masculine. Vision is masculine. Seed time harvest, it has all to do with femininity. Because she has to receive, right? And as she receives, when she receives the seed into her womb, not just her physical womb, but in her mental and spiritual womb, she will always give you more than what you've given her. We've talked about, you give a wife a house, she'll give you a home. You bring her groceries, she'll give you a meal. You give her a seed, she'll give you a child. You give her a vision, she'll help you fulfill and bring it into fruition. That's what a woman will do. Females don't operate that way, and neither do males. Males have dreams. Now, dreams can be nightmares. There's no substance to dreams. You can be dreaming what you're dreaming because it's something you ate. You have dreams and then you wake up and you don't remember them. That's not a vision. That's a dream. Dreams don't stick with you because there's no substance there. Only visions will. And the only way that you can get vision is you be a man. Males don't get visions. They have dreams. Okay? Wow, we're getting there. So it says here, what should he bring to the table? We hear this question so much right now. This is going to be my last slide, and we're going to go to part 3 because it's over an hour. I try to keep it under an hour though. What should he bring to the table? We're here all over social media and around the world. This particular question: what should he bring to the table? What he should bring to the table is 2 words: masculinity, purpose. He's got to bring masculinity, purpose. That's what he's supposed to bring. Not 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet. No. Those are dreams. Those are wishes. Fairy tales. Little girl fairy tales. Yeah. That's not a vision. Man, you got to bring vision to the table. Nothing else. Nothing else. You don't bring nothing else to the table but masculinity, vision, masculinity, purpose. Excuse me. And so it's important for you to understand that. Well, I've gone over time, and we're going to come back for a part 3. We're going to have to, because we're not finished. We've got to understand why marriage is important. Why marriage is important. The problems that we're having in our community, in our culture, in our clan, is because marriages are failing. And the reason marriages are failing is because we don't understand what marriage is. We don't know what is involved. We don't know what the purpose is. We don't know who's supposed to be involved. And as a result, we're seeing some problems in our community, culture, and clan. our children are being reared not understanding what marriage is supposed to look like. Right? I have to turn this off because it's just continuing to get in the way. And so we've got to gain an understanding of some things. I hope that brings some clarity. Would you share this with other people? Would you do that? And the best way you can do that is by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. You may not agree with everything I said, but was there any value in it for you? If it was, would you do me a favor and just hit the like? Just you don't even have to. If it's not helping you, I don't want you to like and subscribe. But if it's something that has been helpful, I know a lot of you have not heard anything like this before. And some of you have heard it over and over on this channel. And you will continue to hear it over and over on this channel. We're going to move on to some other things, but we've got to get this out. We've got to get this out. Now, you can contact us scrolling across the bottom of the page. You see all our contact information. You see it. You can reach out to us anytime. I love to hear from you. I love to hear from you. So, until the next time we come together, peace.